Hi everyone, my name is James Taylor. I'm a South African, you might tell by the accent,
Hmm.
and I live in Cape Town. And Know Your City is a campaign run by Slum Dwellers International, which is a movement, a social movement of people living in informal settlements who mobilize and come together for their own dignity and development. Know Your City is a campaign where people map using smartphones, map their settlements. They go around collecting the data of the settlements in order to use that data to get a seat at the negotiating table. So it's a very powerful mechanism for people to partner in their own development, not to just wait for the government to come and solve their problems, but to actually be active in their own informal settlement upgrades. Where we are now in Africa is
Hmm.
right on the cusp of something massive,
Hmm.
something huge, something that's never happened anywhere else. We are essentially going to be making a huge leap into a new way of doing business, a new way of interacting socially, a new way of learning. And I think with this isolation, this imposed isolation that Corona is forcing us to adopt, we really have an opportunity to take something positive out of something very negative, right? So Corona is awful. It's a terrible disease. It's killing too many people. The one thing that we can take from this is that it has taught us that even in our isolation, we have to stay connected. And we have that connection, on our smartphones. What it's also shown us is that even though we can be connected, uh, the the device has the potential um, to to separate and alienate us from the people in the room that we're sharing. So every technology has a disruption, and every technology has a benefit. As professionals working in this field, and as change makers, entrepreneurs, whatever, we need to be aware of both sides so that we can maximize the benefit and try and mitigate some of the negatives that come apart. So I'm very excited to work in this field because Africa is the world's youngest continent, right? You will see if you study the population graph of most other countries in the global north, the population is aging and getting smaller. But I mean, a huge percentage of our population is under the age of 30. And the business models of the old days don't work anymore. Our young people want something fresh. They want something new. Our young people want to connect with each other. Our young people want to see change happen more quickly, and our young people want to see innovations and equal opportunities where before they only knew exclusion and lack of access. So I mean, there's a saying that the smartphone, the internet, is a great democratizer, right? At the same time, we're facing a huge challenge with big data, with Google search, which every single search that you make is tagged, logged, and remembered and stored. You know, all your social network connections are analyzed and sold on to other businesses for profit, right? So we have a huge incursion into our personal and private space. And all of this stuff is new. It's never happened before. There's a very interesting book by Shoshana Zuboff called The Rise of Surveillance Capitalism. And she talks about how when the conquistadors crossed the sea in their ships, which would later bring the international slave trade, and they arrived on the New World, and they called it the New World, the paradise islands of the Caribbean. The Indians saw them and welcomed them with open arms, and wow, look at you, you guys are different, like not knowing that in their lifetime it would be complete genocide. They would be dispossessed of everything, they would lose their land and their lives. And she's a very dramatic writer, but she analyzes the situation saying, we are like lambs walking closer to a cliff. We need to wake up to the power that we are wielding in these smartphone devices. and so that we can be responsible, that we can create sustainable businesses, and that we can give youth a tool that will actually help change them, not enslave them.